you there. Or did I? You ever have just one of those days? Yeah, I think the misperception is that just because you are on a path of so-called enlightenment and learning empathy and things like that, that it's gonna be all rainbows and butterflies and unicorns your whole life. But I'm starting to come to terms with the fact that I'm pretty awesome, and that awesomeness happens to come in a form of what I find hilarious, and that hilarious, fuck! In all seriousness, yeah, like I can do that now. A lot of people say, just be yourself. Just be yourself. And no one has really seemed to grab a knack on exactly what that means. Because if we all knew exactly what that means, we'd only have to be told once, you know? And we're always telling other people to, you know, just be yourself. I mean, for me, just being myself has been whatever it is that I choose to be at that given moment. I don't really see myself as some sort of consistent personality of this sort of one program robot. This is what I'm going to be today. This is what I'm going to be today. Outside of, you know, the basis, which is my spiritual path. What I choose to do while I'm walking down the street of my metaphorical spiritual path is whatever I'm choosing to be at that moment. Because I have to ask myself a lot of times, how am I not myself? When people say just be yourself, how am I not myself? Are you talking about just be your higher self? You know, whatever happened to, instead of just be yourself, whatever happened to like, just be? If you're gonna be angry, just be angry and then be something else, hopefully, because we all know that staying in anger too long isn't healthy. Or stay in anger for as long as it takes to make progress. How about that? You know, if it takes 5 seconds, it takes 5 seconds. If it takes a week, it takes a week. Just be, you know? And so, I guess I'm pretty random. And sometimes I miss being random because I think too much into what it means to just be. And my brain likes to fill in that gap because I guess what we call the ego really does need some sort of a solidification or a closed loop in order to make sense of it. You know, we have to latch onto definitions in order to grasp things. And so, yeah, when I say just be, it means literally if you're gonna smoke, smoke. If you're gonna drink, drink. If you want to scream, scream. In the meantime, you know, let's try to not kill each other or hurt each other, or let's do our best to be as what we can be as loving, I guess. Because if it's all love, then we're all loving each other in our own ways, and it's only our egos that say that you're not loving me the right way. And believe me, I've come face to face with that idea. You're not loving me the right way, and it gets complicated, man. It gets really complicated. And so I think outside of myself about the world. Am I loving the world the right way? But the thing is that there's so many perspectives. In fact, it seems to be there's an infinite amount of different ways you can love the world. You can love your life, you know, you can express that. And so, whatever you do isn't necessarily doing the right thing or the wrong thing. It's mainly about what types of people are going to receive you, you know? Now, of course, you can, like we talked about before, you can adapt and link, you know, values and needs to the external world. But some people need a friend that will just let them be whatever it is they need to be at that given moment. And some people just need to be alone, and you can't give someone aloneness. You have to leave them alone. So it seems like, because everything is so different, that if we just be ourselves, that we're gonna do it wrong. But you can't do it wrong, you know? You can't. It's impossible. This life is set up in an abundance of people willing to receive whatever it is that you have to give. There's always someone out there with a need for what you have to offer. And of course, you know, if you're a Ferrari and you think that you want to be an off-road racer, that's going to be difficult at first to try to be something that you're not. But it doesn't mean that you don't have the capacity to grow, adapt, and change and become what it is that you want to be. So if you're a Ferrari and you want to be an off-road racer, then you need to go see a mechanic and get some badass modifications thrown on so you can be that off-road racer. But when you think that you can't be something because you're a certain way, you've necessarily limited yourself, a limited belief that you can't become what it is that you wish to become. So there's so many different ways you can go about this. You can modify everything, and don't be angry when, you know, at the end of the off-road race you're going, I used to be a Ferrari and now look at me, covered in mud. Well, if you're gonna try to quote-unquote be something you're not, then don't be upset over the changes that you've made. At least make it a conscious choice, you know. And so, that's my favorite transition, apparently. And so, we can adapt and modify ourselves to the needs of our environment. We have that capacity, and we can go beyond our environment and talk about the needs of the state, and go beyond the limited belief of a state, because borders aren't even real, and go to the needs of our country, and go into the needs of our planet, and, you know, and then go even further to the needs of our cosmos, our galaxy even. And I wouldn't suggest trying to fulfill the needs of the universe before you fulfill your own basic needs, but whatever it is that you need to be, or that you feel that you need to be, just be aware, I guess, that if you're adapting to something that necessarily you don't want to become, or if you're not changing for something that you do want to become, that's probably where you're going to feel some basic resistance. And that's what I mean by resistance and challenge and difficulty helps keep us authentic. It's sort of like the concrete walls on the highway. It keeps you from falling off the road. So if you try to drive off the road, you're going to have quite a challenge. And it might be painful if we don't, you know, get off the wall, basically. And so we have sometimes, or at least I've had, this image in my head of pushing against a wall, trying to make the breakthrough, you know, to the next level. But sometimes a breakthrough is literally just turning the wheel. Stop trying to break the wall, stop trying to push through, and drive the fuck around. You know, just get it out of your way. And, or, you know, maybe the wall is just to let you know it's time to sit down and take a rest. Now there's a wall here. What are we gonna do? Let's sit down next to the wall and meditate. Let's paint a mural on it. Let's bathe in its beauty. Let's appreciate the wall for what it's done, you know? And so, 8 minutes. The lesson is just be. You're free to fill in the gap, and I will do my best to just be compassionate and to just be full of empathy towards whatever it is that you may choose to be. Like for me, right now, I think I just ran a red light. I decided to just be a criminal, and, you know, so far, yeah, the universe says it's okay this time, but I'll be careful next time. Hope you enjoyed that video. I'm just about at work, and I'm going to just be awesome, and hopefully my version of awesome is well received by my environment. If not, I will just be adaptive and change my ways of awesome for the time being. Hope you enjoyed.